All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the lounge. I would like to welcome you on this Monday evening. I hope you are doing well. This is a live stream that has been requested more than once, and I wanted to really just do more, studying and reviewing before, I brought this live and I started even giving my opinion on any of it because I've spoke on it before, but I don't really like to give my opinion on something unless, I know a little more, I at least want to know, not just guess, when someone might ask me a question. So, hopefully, if we get anyone in here tonight that's got questions, hopefully we can answer those questions between, myself and everyone that might be in here tonight. And maybe we can even, I plan on trying to do this more than once for sure, because the last time I did it, and even when, I've noticed some positive feedback from just doing the mental abuse and physical abuse and bullying and stuff is starting to, look up as well. So we'll definitely be doing this more. This will not be the only time that we talk on, drug recovery and those that might still be on drugs. And I want to make myself clear on this. If you are on drugs, I am not here to drag you down. I'm not here to judge you because you're doing drugs. Do I want to see anybody on drugs? Absolutely not. Would I like to be able to help people get away from the drugs? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I will not judge you, nor will I let anyone else, come in here and be rude to others or any of that. The mods will take care of that the best that we can. So I really want everybody to feel comfortable. That's the main goal here. Let me send out a message to others. I'll tweet it out. Is what I'll do. So give me a second here. Let's go back here. And again, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight and also being a part of the lounge. All right. Let me mute this. There we go. Hey, Derek, good to see you. Shauna is already here, so I don't got to send that out to you, dear. Good to see you guys. Stacy is with us. Good deal. Tammy is with us. Very awesome. Guys, I'll tell you, we had the Raising Awareness for Bullying last night, and I'm really happy about the numbers from last night. They looked really good. We had a lot of views on it, and that means a lot to me. I'm gonna get up here because I need to shut my office door, you guys. And I'll turn off my air too. That way I can hear you. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, you guys. Right. All right, I'm gonna turn this air off too. Sorry, I was talking to Psycho Mom there for a minute. This is going fan. Let me try something here. Come on, go on fan for me. All I want you to do. My office is not that big, so There we go. Fan. Fan is good. Air is too much. It gets too cold in here. Um. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, but I was really happy with the numbers. You know, I really enjoy to see people. Not necessarily. I don't enjoy seeing anybody go through any type of stuff like that. But I enjoy seeing people coming in here and showing their support, or coming in here looking for support. That says something. And it really does touch me. It touches my heart. It really does. Because we're all human. And it's one thing that I can't stand to see other people look down on others because of their mistakes, because of their choices that they've made, even when there wasn't the right choice. It gives us no right to belittle anybody else, to fall down on others for making the wrong choices. And I don't care who you are, how much money you got, where you're from, we are all the same. Every one of us. We're only human, and we're bound to make mistakes in our life. And if you stand before me and you tell me that you're perfect, I'll tell you that you're a damn liar. And I'll tell you that you need to go back, look in the mirror, and think about it a little bit longer. So now that I got that out of the way, it aggravates me. So anyways, here we are. Let me share this on Twitter. I didn't get to share it yet, but I'm going to now. Twitter. I remember when I used to be on a different channel before. I would go there all the time. I think I was even a mod there. You guys know what channel I'm talking about. And this person started out, and they would talk on the drug abuse and all this stuff, and then it all just went away. It turned into a soap opera, and everybody out there that it was looking for support, looking for answers, was kind of just left hanging. And I don't want to do that. I want us to really try and help each other in whatever situations that we might be going through. And that means, if you never know, if I have a problem later in life and I need support, I would be right here asking for help. And I hope that you can do the same thing. Let me quickly welcome the mods in tonight. Some of the, everyday supporters and friends. Really, family is more what I like to call it, because I see these names and these people every time. And it means a lot, especially when we're doing something like this. The more people that's out there showing others that we are here to help, the better, right? So, hello to Shauna, Derek, Stacy, Tammy. Who else do we got? Let me see. Miss Lady Miranda, welcome. Good to see you. And hopefully you're having a good day, dear. I'm not sure who, I can't say that name. Ami, Exami. Helen Videos, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Miss Liz, hello, Miss Liz. Good to see you. B0, thank you. Guys, I am really, really excited that so many people are here tonight. You guys have no idea how good that makes me feel. Now, I've shared this story before, and the video is out there somewhere. I just didn't want to have to dig through every single video because I can't remember how I titled it. But I'd like to share a story with you that I think can be a little bit of a positive story that can maybe, someone out there, someone's trying to call me. I'm not answering. I don't take, first of all, I don't take unknown phone calls. So I'm not here right now. Please leave your name, number, and a detailed message and call back without your number being blocked. And I might answer the phone. Oh, sorry. Anyways, I hope that my story can be, positive to somebody else out there. Maybe not specifically someone that's here right now, but maybe it could be. I don't know. I just know I'm going to share it. It's not a super long story, but I can say this. Being on drugs is, it's easy for someone to sit back and judge that and say, oh, well, you can do this and you can do that. I don't know why you're still doing them drugs because it's really not that complicated and blah, 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 blah. When really that person has no idea. And how come? Why don't they have an idea why or how hard it really is? It's because they've never been through it. They've never experienced it. They've only watched it on TV or watched it through somebody else. And you cannot sit there and tell somebody else how easy it is to get off drugs because you've seen someone else do it. Everybody is different. We need to remember that everybody's different. Bill down the road, he might have had to go through rehab for 24 months to finally get away from drugs, while Tanya across the street got through it on her own and quit on her own, right? Everybody's different. And I'll look at the chat here in a second. If anybody's chatting, I'm not answering you. I promise you, I'm not ignoring you. I promise. And sometimes I miss the chat just due to me, not being able to see that good, and I use voiceover. So if you got to say it twice, I won't get mad. I promise. So let me tell you my story real quick and get that out of the way. I'm going to go like 15 years back. I think I was about 25, 24, 25, something like that. I was in a car wreck, and the doctor, obviously, well, first of all, I was in the car wreck, and, it messed me up pretty good. I banged my face up pretty good, messed my back up, my knee, and I was in a lot of pain. Now, note that before that car wreck, I never, ever touched pain pills. I didn't like them. I didn't want them. I didn't do any other kind of hard drug at all. It was after that car wreck was when pills almost took over my life. Really, they did. They did take over my life for a few months. For about 9 months, maybe a year. And the problem was I got started on these pain pills, and I got, 120 of them a month. And the doctor said, I don't want you to be in pain. Take these every 4 to 6 hours as needed. And it turned into a thing to where I just always needed it. I always needed it. I felt like I couldn't go without it. It was, I would even count them to make sure, do I got enough to get me through till I see the doctor next week? And I'd count them. I'd count them 2 or 3 times, right? And then while here I am taking these pain pills, obviously I'm feeling no pain, but I'm taking these pain pills and I'm taking them like they're candy, The more I was taking them, the more I could take. And then I got this point where I became depressed. I just felt like, I just felt like I was worthless. I couldn't do anything. I just felt just messed up. When really, now at the time I didn't know it, it was the pills doing that to me, right? It was the pain pills doing that to me. And so then they put me on Xanax. So now, boy, I'm really, really doing it now. I've got, you know, I've got Xanax that I'm taking on top of the pain pills. And I think that my life is just, it could get no better. I'm like, man, I am living on cloud nine. Can't nothing bring me down now. No, I'm at the top of the world now. Nobody's bringing me down. People can make fun of me. Shit, I'll laugh with you. I'll make fun of me with you. Let's make fun of me together, right? I was on top of the world. And then I woke up. We're talking, a lot of time went by. I woke up and I realized that my life was going by really fast and I was getting absolutely nowhere. I had nothing, you guys, nothing. I lived in a mobile home trailer. I didn't have but one vehicle. It barely ran. It was an Oldsmobile, a 4-door O's. I was getting nowhere. And it was always my goal to get up out of that trailer to do bigger things in life like I am today, that I'm so very proud of. But at the time, I was just too busy taking the pain pills and the nerve pills. And I knew something had to change. Well, I ran out of I can't remember one or the other, either the pain pills or the nerve pill. I can't remember which now, but I felt like crap. I think it was the nerve pills because I still had the pain pills. I think I still had like 30 left. And I was in the bathroom. I was getting sick, hanging over the toilet. And I went to go back to bed. Then I was back sitting on the toilet. Fluids were coming out from both ends. I was messed up, right? And I told myself, am I dying? Is this it? I'm going to die. This is it. And I've gotten nowhere. I took them 30 pills. And I put them in the big bottles you can get, the big giant bottles you get from the pharmacy. I put them in it. And I set them up on my monitor. It was one of the older style monitors, the big bulky ones, right? And I said, I'm gonna stop this. I look at that bottle every day, y'all. And I'd say, I'm gonna beat you. I will defeat you. I'm not going to go to rehab. I'm going to rehab myself. And I will defeat you. I will beat you. And I got such a positive mindset by doing that. Just by the willpower and the positive mindset and the motivation. It was rough. I know I'm saying it like it was simple. It wasn't. But keeping that positive mindset and that motivation and seeing them pills every day, I look at that bottle and I'd say another day has passed and I've not touched you. And tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to touch you. Now, granted, for about 2 weeks, maybe 3, it might have been a little bit longer than that. It's been so long now. I really thought that I was at the edge of my life being over. Finished. Done. And I hadn't even got started yet. When I did that, when I was able to take that bottle and throw it in the garbage, I believe it was like 41 days is what I counted, that I rehabbed myself. And I didn't take another one. I left them in the bottle and I threw them in the can at 41 days later of not touching one pain pill or one nerve pill. I don't want people to think that I'm saying that you can just do it on your own without help. Some people need that help. Some people need medicated help. Some people don't need the medication. Everybody's different. But let me tell you what the main point is here. At the end of the day, it falls back to you. Do you really want it? And how bad do you want it? Because if you want it so bad you can taste it, I promise you, you will win. You will defeat it. And that's a fact, my friend. That's not a guess. That's not an assumption. That's a fact. You would be surprised what you can do when you put your mind to it. Not only that, but having people to stand behind you and support you. If you can't do it by yourself, that's okay. Not everybody can do it by themselves. I didn't have a choice. Right? So it's either I do it by myself or I don't do it at all. That was basically the mindset and the thoughts that I had at the time. Was I was either going to do it now and do it on my own, or I wasn't going to do it at all. And if I would have went that direction, I'm going to guess that I probably wouldn't be here today talking to all you wonderful people. And I don't want anybody to ever assume that I claim to be perfect, because I'm far from perfect. But what I am is confident. Confident in myself and confident in those that want to get through it too. If you need resources, if you need help, it's okay. It's all right to need help. If you want to beat it by yourself, that's okay too. But don't play games with yourself. Don't let your mind, start doing these little mind games. Well, one more today, you'd be okay. I came close. Y'all. There was a couple times in them 41 days, there was a couple times where I was like, maybe just one today. And tomorrow I won't take one. And the next day I will. But I stopped myself. I said, no, that ain't going to fix anything. I'm going to put myself right back where the doctor started me. See, really, that's where it started with the doctor. And the doctor didn't care about lowering my prescriptions or asking me, how you doing? There are good doctors out there, but some, they're not there to worry about if you're taking too many or not. They don't care. They got to go home and live their life with their family while they don't give a damn what happens to us. Remember that. If you ever get in that situation, you remember that. If you don't have a good doctor, just remember that the one, some of them just don't give a damn. And then you can just come here and we'll support you too. We'll get you through it. But that's my story, in a nutshell. So it's why when people tell me, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I do. Did I do meth? No, I've never touched meth in my life. But I know what it's like to go through addiction. Did I do heroin? No, never done heroin. But I know what it's like to go through addiction. And again, I don't claim that everybody can do it on their own. So now let me look at the chat. Now that I've told my little story, I guess. Let's take a look. Just looking over chat, you guys. Hey, KG, how you doing? It's good to see you, KG. We'll have to bring you on sometime, Shauna, if you'd like to share that story again. Tammy, you're right. It takes digging down deep. And that's so true, you guys. And I know some people, everybody's different. And there might be some out there that dig down as deep as they can dig and it still not work out that way for them. And that's okay. The main thing is that you recognize that you need that help and you get it. If you can't do it yourself, you get it. Right? Just looking through all the chat here, you guys. Miranda, you're right. They do suck. The thing is, heroin is a really bad drug. You're right, Derek. But there's something that I think that all of us should always be prepared for. And that's another drug to be put out there on the streets, because there will be. Time goes by and a new drug comes out that, it's always been that way. You go back and you start way back and work your way back to where we are now, and you'll see that cycle. Yeah, Tammy, I did too. I knew a couple people that they didn't make it, unfortunately. All right, still looking at chat, you guys. I'll give you my opinion about pot. I think that pot is something that we no longer really need to worry about, considering all these other harsher drugs. You take a look at some of the places where pot is legal, and I've not done my research. I probably should, and we'll talk about it next time. But like Colorado, places like that, I'm going to guess that the drug crime is not as high as what it is in the areas where pot is still illegal. And it's unfortunate now because teenagers are going after the big drugs. That's the scary thing about it. We've got teenagers looking for the big fix, and it's sad. It really is. The Miss Lady Miranda, fentanyl. The fentanyl is so dangerous. I'm going to be honest on that. I think fentanyl needs to go. I think it just needs to go altogether. Take it off the market, because they're taking this fentanyl and they're putting it in the meth, they're putting it in the heroin, and it's killing people. It's the overdose of the fentanyl that's killing people. That's usually what ends up doing the killing, is the fentanyl. And there's really no reason that I think we need to keep fentanyl on the market at all. And some of them will sit back in the shadows, as they're not wanting to see people do drugs. They're wanting to continue to put drugs like fentanyl on the market because they need to make that money. That's the sad thing about it. That is the sad thing about it. You know, when I was yeah, they do, Stacy. They sure do. When I was taking, when I was on the pain medicine because of my wreck, I mean, months went by so fast and I missed so much. And really, I think I maybe even, I think it was longer than what I'd even said. I'm pretty sure it was more than a year. I think it was more like 17 months or something. I can't remember exactly because you don't. You forget. You forget a lot. I'm just lucky and glad. I'm not going to say lucky. I'm glad that I wisened up. It's not luck to change your life around. It's not luck to get yourself off drugs. It's being wise, right? It's the smart thing to do. And hey, if you're still on drugs out there somewhere, if you're listening to this at some point and you're one of those that's still doing it, I'm just going to tell you that we're here to help get you through it. But you really need to listen to my story and listen real good, because that day will come. That same day that I came across that scared the shit out of me. The day that I thought I was dying. And really, I probably was if I wouldn't have stopped. That was probably just the beginning of it. So you got to decide what's going to be more important. You living life and getting the things that you've always wanted and live a better life, a happier life, or it'll drag you down, my friend. I don't want to see that happen to you. Nobody here does. So think about that. No, Miranda. I was actually born visually impaired. Um, when I was born, the umbilical cord had wrapped around my neck like 3 times, and when the first thing that gets damaged when you lose oxygen is your vision. You ever notice if you've ever been in a situation where you couldn't breathe well or something and things started to get blurry, or close to when you was going to you know like you feel like you couldn't breathe, or whatever situation you might have went through? If you ever noticed, the vision's the first thing that goes out every time. That's awesome. And that's good that you've got that reason. And look, if whatever the reason is, as long as it's a good enough reason that keeps you going forward, then by gosh, that's a good enough reason for me, no matter what it is. And that's awesome. I'm glad that you're able to keep going forward and not go back to that. And I feel good for never going back to it. I feel really good about that. And at the same time, I sit here and I tell people, hey, we understand. We understand what you're going through. I would rather support someone that's still either doing the drugs and trying to come off or whatever, because I know what it's like. Just like you and others out there, nobody's going to quit doing a drug if they got the whole world yelling and screaming at them and telling them how stupid they are and all this dumb stuff. And I always tell people that let's stop treating those that do drugs like they're worthless. Because once we stop treating them like they're worthless, they might even start listening to us. They might actually say, hey, they really do care about what I'm doing. So maybe I should care more about what's going on in my life. But for as long as people sit there and belittle others that do drugs and criticize them and hate on them and, all this other stupid stuff, well, what do you expect? You expect them to just throw down the drugs and come over and buy you a pizza and have cake? No, probably not. It's common sense. And that's just the way I feel. We got no right to belittle people because they're doing drugs. It doesn't mean we agree with them. If somebody was in here right now and said, yeah, John, I do heroin, I'm not going to tell them that they're stupid. I'm not going to be mean to them at all. I might tell them that, I hope that they can find a way to come off of it and to walk away from it. And that might even give them enough motivation to see the reality of seeing that, wow, someone does care what I'm doing. Someone does care that I'm hurting myself. But, you can't tell the know-it-alls that. The know-it-alls, they just want to, complain, scream, and yell at you that you're taking their tax dollar. How many of you heard that 1,000 times? Oh, you're going to this and you're taking the tax dollars that I spend. Well, guess what? So is every other little thing in the United States as well, and everything in the world as well. You think that that's the only tax that's going out there? I don't think so. There's all kinds of taxes that are going out the pocket, not just for a drug rehab center, not just for a jail. Okay, so stop being a bitch, stop whining because you got to work, and stop blaming drug users because you got to go out and work and take care of yourself. Because hopefully they'll start doing the same thing sometime. When you actually start giving them a positive reason to look at life instead of dealing with all the negativity that we're unfortunately put around almost every day. So that's just my opinion, though. And that's okay. I mean, I know people that are bipolar, and there's people that have to take their medicine. They don't have a choice. And again, no judgment coming from me on you about that. If that helps you get through the day, there's a difference in really needing it and having to take it. Big difference. And even, I'm sure that you can probably agree with me here. I'm sure there's been many times when you've seen people try to judge you for it, right? Well, guess what? You won't get judged here. The first person that judges you, the first person that belittles you, or anyone else because they take medications, the mods will flip you out the door quicker than you can say I. Not you, but the ones that's, doing the hating and all that stuff. I want people to really, really, really see that, at the end of the day, we like to have fun on this channel. We like to, cut up and act silly. But I also want people to see that we believe in helping others that might be going through any type of abuse, whether it's got to do with drugs, mental abuse, physical abuse. The only way a person can get better is when they got other people around them, giving them, positive, a positive environment. So if we can be that environment to help people, by gosh, we're going to do it. And if it takes us another year to get another 200 people, then that's what it does. I don't care. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Some of you know what it's like. I know what it's like. We know what the bad days was like, and someone else out there is going through it right now, or 10 times worse. And that really, really does break my heart to know that someone's going through it. You know, some people say, oh, they don't got to go through it. That's their fault. That's their fault. Listen, reality here. A little more reality for you. When you get in so far, you really don't know. Okay? You really don't. You really don't get it until you get put in an environment that gives you positive reasons to stop doing it. And there's many, many reasons why people turn to drugs. Many reasons. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I know it all, because I don't. But I know there's several reasons. And just remember this, just my opinion. That's all I'm giving. That's all I got. Is my opinion and my support. Just like everybody else in here. It's all opinions. You know, if someone goes out tonight and something's happens, you know, we don't want them to be like, oh, well, John or whoever said in the lounge to go do this. No, we're only giving you our opinion. We're not, we're not doctors. We're not counselors. We're not professionals here. This is just an environment that we want people to feel good about themselves. So I needed to get that out of the way. Yeah, no, anxiety sucks. It really does. And I'll tell you what, Cupcakes, I think that for everything that you're going through, you sure in the hell seem like a pretty positive person to me. I'll tell you that right now. And you know what? You're loved and welcomed here anytime you want to be here. I just thought I'd let you know that. Hey, welcome back, KG. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have to take medication, and it sucks. You know, it really does. At this point, I can knock on wood, and I'm going to, because I'm lucky that I'm not having to take a bunch of different medications right now, and I'm happy about that. You know, I probably, you know, if my anxiety was to get worse or something, it's not out of control right now. It's not, I hardly ever get it. But if that ever got any worse, yeah, I might have to go and do something about that. But um, even if you are taking medication, though, you know, you can live a full normal life even when you got to take medications. If that's what gets you through, if that's what you got to do, that's different. I can't stand those though that sit back and, if they know you take medications, they'll sit there and twist it around on you. And I'm sure you heard that a million times too. And that is so pathetic of anybody to do to somebody or to treat them that way. Again, the ones that forget that we're all human, right? So, uh, my goal is just to help people keep a smile on their face, give them hope, you know, encouragement. hopefully get more people to join us here. It's not been easy, but if I don't do it, then we'll never grow, right? If we don't talk about it, no one's going to know. So I'm like, you know what? I need to do this more. I need to do these live streams more. So unless I have a special topic, I think for now on, there's going to always be something in our titles when we're live streaming about drug recovery and drug addicts and abuse. I don't know, I'd like a simple title that I could use every time. So if anybody's got any ideas, by all means, let me know. Like I said, I want to be able to put it in the title every time I go live, unless I'm going live to speak about something specific. Otherwise, I'm just going to start putting it in the title so we can get more people in here. There might be someone out there that really needs our help, or someone that, I had someone last year, just because we did a live stream, they wrote me and told me that it was because of this channel why they decided to get help and not hurt themselves. So that's why I do it. Because, hey, even if it's one person that we get, their attention, then we've done something good. We've done a good deed. So that's just the way I see it. Now I need a cigarette. Let me ask you, I want everybody's opinion on this. And instead of getting, because I know I can go on and on and on about this with my opinion, those that are not against marijuana, type 1 in your window. I'm curious to see how many are not against marijuana. I know I'm not. And if you are, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you for it. But give us a 1. Thank you, Cupcakes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So throw us a number 1 in the window for everyone that doesn't have a problem with marijuana and that isn't against it. If you're against it, give us a 2. But if you're for it, give us a 1. It doesn't mean you got to smoke it neither, because I don't smoke it, but I'm still not against it. Yeah, look at that. Everybody. Look at that. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I really feel like marijuana could even be used as a motivator to push people away from doing the heavy drugs. There's a lot of, and I know there's a lot of different opinions on this, but I think there's a lot of things that we could do with marijuana that would be positive instead of negative, even financially. Look at Colorado. You know how much money they're probably making? A lot. A lot. There's another 1. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Jennifer. See, guys, look at that. All 1s. Everybody is 1 on this. I mean, I kind of done knew that, but yeah, I don't smoke neither. I will tell you, though, I have smoked in the past. It's been a long time, but I've smoked it. I used to smoke it up like no other. I used to get higher than a kite. And let me tell you something else. I love when someone says, oh man, smoking pot's bad, especially you see people driving smoking pot. I have never, ever in my life ever heard of somebody getting in a fatal accident from smoking marijuana. Ever. Have I ever heard of it? I've been with people, and you know what? When you're high, you're either high and you can drive, or you're either high to where you just don't drive because you're too damn high. Right? You don't usually if you're too damn high, you're like, I can't get behind the wheel. When I used to drive, I mean, I could see to drive. I had a little bit better vision. It was still, I shouldn't have done it, but I did. But I would get so high and I would get in the car and get behind the wheel and I wouldn't go nowhere. I'd sit there and laugh my ass off and zone the hell out. And then when I, came down, I'd go back in the house, hit the munchies, and then go back to my car and leave. So I never got in the car and just took off and been too stoned to drive. So I always laugh at people when they say that. I'm like, you definitely don't know what you're talking about. Oh, really, cupcakes? Yeah, that's actually pretty common too, Stacy, to use it for that. Derek, pot is legal in Colorado for sure. Cupcakes, just as my opinion, and that's all I got. Um, it very well could help you. It very well could. I know someone that smokes it just for their nerves. And now they've got this, they've got it down so good now with pot to where they can, there's pot that will make you laugh. There's pot that will make you relax. There's pot that will help you with pain. There's pot that will help you with panics. I mean, they've got all these different strands now that they can use too. It's pretty amazing, really. It really is. Oh yeah, it definitely help you sleep for sure. Hey, and guys, if you want, while we're all sitting here having a nice conversation, if you don't mind to click on that share button right now, share this on Twitter, share it on Facebook, let people know what we're doing, what our purpose is, and invite them over. I'd really appreciate that. And also give us that thumbs up. I know some of you've already done that, and I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Your guys' support is what keeps this going. And when people show up like this, like we got going tonight, that's what gets people's attention. They're like, wow, wait a minute. Look at the lounge. They got all these people that's went over and watched this, or they'll look and say, oh man, they got all these people over there live right now. What's going on? That's the whole point here. But I've never had anything against marijuana. And honestly, before marijuana even ever became legal anywhere, I've always said that it was overrated. The cops being on people about it and stuff, completely overrated. But now the problem is in the areas where it's not legal yet, you know, if the cops catch you with it, they're going to get you because it's a charge. You know, there's some cops that just won't bother you for it. I know some that probably wouldn't even bother you, but there are some that will. It depends on the cop really. And I mean, I believe in following the law, but I just don't believe that marijuana is a problem. I really it's just not. It's not a problem. Like that guy said on Casper, the movie. She sends that guy in there, let's get them ghosts out of the house, and he's like, no problem. No problem at all. And then he comes back out with his head turned around backwards. Oh gosh. I tell you. Oh, cerebral palsy? Yeah. Okay, Miranda, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we know you're here. James says cocaine is overrated. I don't know about that one. I won't. I'm not going to sit back and say no. They should let everybody do cocaine, but you know, that's your opinion, and I respect your opinion, James. I respect it, brother. Um, I've seen too many people die. I've seen too many cases where people's died from it. I've even seen cases where people's only done it one time and it killed them. So I don't know if I'd say that cocaine's overrated or not, but hey, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna hate on you for it. That's for sure. You're good people, James. Good people. Nothing wrong with that, cupcakes. Nothing wrong with that at all. I know a lot of people that have went through school with special ed and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it. Um, some of you might not have heard me talk about this the other night, but I'm actually getting ready to go through some training so that I can get certified to work with special needs. There's a place that works with just preschool kids and I forget the other, but it's young kids. And the place that I'm trying to get the job, they're the ones giving the 4-week course. It's here 4 or 8 weeks, I forget now. But then I don't got to go and take the test because obviously I went through the class to get certified. So, um, but no, there's nothing wrong with special needs or special ed. Nothing at all. Yeah, I know a lot of people has got different disabilities, and that's the thing is there are a lot of disabilities that we don't see in people. We don't even know that they have it until they mention it. We was talking about that the other day at college. It's there's more than what people think. Most definitely. And I think we need to be there to support instead of, you know, not helping them at all. Everybody, really, I think that everybody in one way or another have something about themselves that, you know, we could look at and say, well, point out to somebody that, well, there's that disability that you got. Just because someone don't recognize that they got it, I think there's a lot of that too. But you guys look at that. Nobody in here's got a problem admitting, you know, what they've been through or what they have. Just like me, I went for a long time, you guys. I went for 20 years and 10 years of it, I didn't want to be visually impaired. I did everything but the right things. I partied, I drank, I smoked. I just didn't care. But once my first baby was born, that was when I was like, you know, it's time for me to turn the tables here and get my shit together. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad that I got through the whole pain pill thing too, because I really don't think I'd be here. I really don't. And those of you that's been through it, you know what I'm talking about when I said that, it was coming out from both ends. Man, it was like the longest 2 weeks of my life. I had the shakes. Yeah, it was horrible. No apologies, cupcakes. You're fine. That's right, Shauna. That is right. Wow, Miranda. And I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to admit. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know my stream is just kind of kick back, lay back. I don't nothing fancy, but you know, like I've told people before, it's always been in my heart to help others, and I think that YouTube has given me that opportunity. I might not be the popular channel in the world, but if I can help one person, then hey, I'm cool with that. I'm straight cool with that. I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is knowing what our problems are. Not really problems, but our disabilities, right? It's being able to admit it and get through the day. It's when you don't want to admit it, that's when everything just turns upside down. So think about that a minute. What if we all just didn't admit the problems, the disabilities, rather, not problems, again, disabilities, because it's not a problem, right? But what if we didn't admit it? Could you imagine where we might be today? Do you think that you would be where you are right now if you didn't admit to your disabilities? I don't think I would. So it's okay. I don't know. There's people that I've met that they have that disability. They know they have it, but they deny it 100%. And it's like, why? It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you unloved. It doesn't make you ugly. It doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you poor. It's just something that is part of you that you have to adapt to and learn to work with. That's it. That's it. So, anyways, that's right, Miranda. Thank you. I appreciate that, cupcakes. I really do. I guess it's okay to call you cupcakes because I didn't really, or I could call you Camellia. What would you like me to call you? Do you have something else that you'd rather go by? Because I'll definitely remember it if you do. But I appreciate the compliments. I really do. I would rather sit here all day and watch all the positivity and all the compliments and all the positive remarks than to deal with other channels across YouTube that are nothing but, you know, all the stuff that nobody wants to deal with. So I enjoy doing what we do here. And I'm really proud to have you guys a part of this. Every one of you are a part of this. We might get someone on the next live stream that needs our help. And it might take me, it might take Stacy, it might take Shawnee, it might take Cupcakes, it might take Derek, it might take RP. I don't know. But the more people here, the better chances that we can help another person. That's the way I see it. That's why I believe so much in it. So that's just how it is. Um, let's see what you said. me see what you said. Okay. All right, cool. Tina calls me Cupcakes. All right. So I'll just call you Cupcakes. um, like I said, for now, when I do live streams, I'm going to be sure to include this into the title because I really want people to get what we do and what we're here for. You know, if like I said, if we can help one person, then we've done something good for the day. And I believe today we've helped each other by just putting that good feeling in our hearts, in our soul, feeling good about talking about these different situations and different disabilities. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And if someone's here listening at a later time, you know, maybe you're going through some drug abuse right now, and maybe we can help you. But we won't hurt you. We won't degrade you. We won't belittle you. We won't hate you. We won't judge you. We'll love you and respect you and build you up instead of knock you down. That's just the way I am. I want to remind you guys, if you ever want to talk, if anybody ever needs to just chat, even just a chat as a friend, message me on Twitter. If you're going to follow me, I've got my Twitter now. I think it's set to where I've got to approve it. So if for some reason you've not heard from me, catch me in here. Give me your Twitter. I'll follow you back. Otherwise, send me a message on Messenger. Facebook is in the description, so you can find that Facebook link there. You can also find the email in the description. You ever want to talk about something? For anyone else that might be listening at a later time, you know, maybe you're in an area where, you know, you're trying to get help, but you're having trouble finding the right resources. Reach out to us. Between myself and all the other people here, you know, we'll do our best to get the information that you need. I think tomorrow when I do my live stream, down in the description, I'm going to have a link where you can download a spreadsheet that's going to be, I think, hopefully I can get it done by tomorrow. But I'm going to put a bunch of resources on there for alcohol, for drugs, for suicide, for depression, for, you know, all the things that I can think of. I'm going to just try to put universal numbers that no matter where you're at, you can go to these different sites or call these numbers and they'll help you. So hopefully I can get that put together in time. If not, then, you know, it'll be in 2 more days. But either way, I'm going to get it put together for you. That ain't no good, Derek. Don't be busting your lip, brother. That ain't no good. I'll tell you, Sean, I'm glad that you didn't give up, hon. I really am. I'm glad that you got through it. You know, there was a guy that I was in the, you know, at the time, and I lost, you know, he's for some reason, I don't know what happened, but there was a guy in Florida that had just lost his sight, and he was 37, 38 years old. This was about 4 years ago. Me and him got to talking almost every day, and then out of the blue, I never heard anything else from him. So, but within those 6 weeks, I completely turned his attitude around about what had happened to him. You know, the thing I try to get people to realize when it comes to disabilities, for example, you know, losing your sight, you know, say you go 30 years and then you wake up one day and your sight's gone or something happens. You've got two ways to go at it. You can go against it and it will drag you down. It will win. It will beat you down if you go against it. Or you can go with it and you can learn how to get back up on your feet and do almost everything that you did before. You know, look at me. I'm no hero, but I can go out there and I can open my toolbox and I can work on anything on my vehicle that I need to work on or that might go wrong with it. Transmission goes wrong, I can change it. Motor needs changed out, I can change it. Because I taught myself how to work with it, not against it. And if more people could do that, could look at their disability in a positive way and say, okay, what do I got to do to get back up? What tools do I need? And just do it. It doesn't make you dumb, doesn't make you below anybody else. You just got to ignore the ones that want to try to look at you in a different way and try to judge you. Really, you should just throw up the middle finger, laugh at them, and move on. Be like, hey, if that's the kind of person you are, don't waste my time. Better yet, don't waste your time because I ain't going to talk to you. Right? That's the way I see it. I've heard every blind joke that you could possibly think of, and I'll probably laugh at them. But, you know, not everybody, you know, unfortunately, not everybody does that. Um, I want to thank all you guys for coming in here tonight, for helping me raise awareness, you know, in such sensitive areas. You know, these are very sensitive topics. If I was here by myself, I'd still be talking. You know, obviously I'd be talking to just myself, but I'd still be here talking. As long as I don't answer myself, we're doing good. Um, but it's just the point that we're letting people know that we're, you know, we're more than just a lounge. We're a lounge that offers support and you know, love and respect and happiness. That's what it's about. I want to thank you guys for coming in tonight with me. I appreciate it. If you guys, you know, sorry, I had to fix something. Like I said, I'm going to start going live every day that I can. And even when we're just going live talking about just a normal stuff, I'm always going to bring up about the drug abuse, you know, drug addicts, the mental abuse, the physical abuse. I'm always going to bring it up just in case we got someone out there looking for help or looking for support. But once a week, at least once a week, it's going to be specifically talking about the drug addicts, recovery, disabilities, because I believe that it's something that people need to hear, and people need to know that we're here to help. Share this on Facebook, Twitter, word of mouth. It works good too. Tell your friends, family. Maybe you got another family member. Maybe you got a friend. Maybe you got a friend of a friend. I don't know. But the more, the better. If you do have Twitter, make sure you give us a wonderful hashtag loungers together. Just show your support to the lounge. I'd appreciate it. I'd like to get it out there more. And we're working on that goal to reach 1,000 subscribers. Even though as bad as I want to get to 1,000, I'm okay where we're at because we're surrounded by positive people. I'd rather have 900 positive people instead of one negative person, right? So I believe we're at 971, I believe. We need 29 more to reach that first goal. And it's been a hell of a ride, but we're going to do it. We're going to go way, way, way above 1,000. I believe that so heartily. I believe that. Again, you need anything, reach out to us. You can reach out to Shauna, reach out to each other, reach out to me. I want to thank all the mods. You guys are my eyes. And I really appreciate that. You're the ones that help keep it a good place to be, a fun place, a positive place. I'm going to try my hardest that when the drama comes in, we knock it out and we go on. I feel like it does no good to go on and on and on about something that'll never stop. So we just ignore it. And I promise you'll have a better day. So thank you guys for coming in tonight. Please remember that if you are going through something, whether it's drugs or physical abuse or mental abuse or low self-esteem, whatever it is you're going through, we just want to help you. We just want to love you. And we want you to get back on your feet. We want you to realize that you are just as important as every other person that walks on the face of this earth. Nobody is better than the person next door. And if that's what they tell you, well, they're wrong, my friend. Because nobody can convince me any differently. And I'm trying to get my I put my other headphones down because they're a pain in the butt. But thank you guys. Cupcakes, Shauna, Stacy, RP, Derek, Tammy, all you guys out there. I know I'm missing names. Miranda. Who else? I'm going to look just in case. I know I'm missing some. Cupcakes. Derek, I already said that, didn't I? There's so many of you. James. There was a few other in here that I didn't see a lot of chat, but I did see you chatting. Forgive me for forgetting your name, but it'll take me forever to go back up the list. Just know that I respect every one of you. And you need to know something. You being positive to another person, you might be saving somebody's life. You might be actually making somebody feel like they finally matter, that they're actually important, and that they deserve to breathe and smile just like everyone else. I'm telling you guys, positivity, it's a powerful thing. I love you guys. Please share this on Facebook. And make sure you tell your friends. We'll be back tomorrow night. Stay positive. Keep a smile on your face. And just remember, the loungers, this is the place.